First of all, I just want to clear the air with Lenovo. I am sorry for what I did to your last phone. It was legitimately impressive, aside from the snapping in half part. Lenovo just dropped their Legion Tab Gen 3 gaming tablet, and to be honest, I'm pretty excited about it. Getting inside the box, we are already off to a great start. There's a free screen protector that's made from real glass. Apple would never be that generous. We also have a free magnetically attaching folio case, Apple would never, and of course a USB-C cable with a free 68-watt wired charging brick, charging speeds that Apple can only dream of. The Legion Gen 3 tablet itself only comes in one color, Eclipse Black, but I'll be fixing that in a second. It's got two cameras on the back, and a single selfie camera that sits on the left side when held horizontally. The tablet itself is $550, which is comparable to an iPad mini, and even though we see lots of freebies in the box, so far there doesn't appear to be any compromise in the build materials. Plastic screens we would see scratching at a level 2 or 3. Glass screens, like we see here on the Legion, start scratching at a level 6, with deeper grooves at a level 7. The 8-megapixel front-facing camera is protected by the same scratch-resistant glass. There is no earpiece though, since this thing is not a phone. Making our way over to the long right side of the gaming tablet, we see our dual noise-canceling microphone holes. There's a very textured metal power button and metal volume rocker, none of which are removable. The top short side of the tablet has 3 large speaker grills for the internal stereo speaker, which does sound surprisingly good. There is no official IP rating on this thing, but we'll be checking out the internal water resistance ourselves when we open it up. The other side has a USB-C port, which allows for bypass charging. The other side has a USB-C port, which allows for bypass charging. Whoa, deja vu. There are indeed 2 USB-C ports on this thing. I imagine so you can connect to an external monitor and still charge up at the same time, or maybe run an accessory. Multitasking. Apple would never. The backside of the Lenovo Legion appears to be anodized aluminum. The word Legion used to mean a large military unit inside the Roman army, comprising anywhere from 3,000 to 6,000 soldiers, as most men would know. Thinking about the Roman Empire is something we do fairly often. However, nowadays the word Legion is more used to just describe a large group or multitude of things. Like I could say, a legion of leaping lemurs love to launch into lifeguardless lukewarm lakes while laughing, and the usage of the word legion would be technically grammatically correct. The Legion logo on the back is made from some plastic inserts inlaid into the metal, but I don't think they will end up falling out on their own, especially with the ridiculously sized cooling system inside. Not a lot of heat will be seeping out the back. Hopefully we'll see some of that here in a second. There are 2 cameras on the back of the tablet. The iPad mini is jealous with its single camera. However, while one is 13 megapixels, the other is just a 2 megapixel macro camera, which we can all agree doesn't really count as an actual camera, but I'll allow it just this once because it fits my narrative. I still think the coolest part of this Lenovo Legion is going to be the inside, but we'll get to that in a second. The 8.8-inch 2.5K display is a tad larger than the iPad 3 mini's 8.3-inch display, and it still manages to have a higher pixel density and refresh rate, which is at 165 Hz. The iPad mini is cruising at, and this is true, 60 Hz. To be fair, the Lenovo Legion is a gaming tablet, and the iPad mini is more for Paw Patrol. The IPS LCD does last for about 12 seconds before going black. The pixels, however, do fully recover, which is kind of fun to watch. Historically, Legion phones have not been the most durable of devices. However, this is my first time with a Legion tablet, and while there is indeed a substantial amount of flex to be found, there is no catastrophic kinking. Bending from the back does buckle the USB-C charging port at the long side of the frame, but a quick bend back from the other direction straightens everything back out. Good as new. Bending from the short sides, fortunately, or unfortunately depending on what you're here for, also does not kill the tablet. However, there are still opportunities for death as we open it up. I will warn you, however, that I do have a particular set of skills that I have acquired over a very long career, skills that allow me to autopsy living tablets successfully about 50% of the time. While I'm normally an advocate for waterproofing, it is kinda nice when I run into a tablet that does not have an invincible adhesive surrounding the display. With the thin strip around the screen warmed up and soft, I can slice it away pretty easily with my JerryRig knife. Seriously, my favorite tool of all time. Still just $9.99. Sorry, where was I? Oh yeah. With the screen lifted up, the first thing we notice is the large copper vapor chamber, the largest I've ever seen in a tablet. I'll turn the Legion off so we can delve even farther. There are 10 green screws holding the cold front cooling system in place. This bad boy is 14% larger than what was inside the Gen 2 tablet. The 3D heat dissipation structure supposedly helps keep heat away from where you hold the tablet for those long gaming sessions. But also, when you're plugged in, the pass-through charging skips the battery anyway, helping to keep things cool while you're charging. And as we can see, there are 2 large batteries inside. After the long metal bracket over the golden ribbon cable connectors is removed, I'll unplug the batteries, and then pop off the screen ribbon just like a little Lego. After that, there's another 23 little green screws smattered all over the inside. For those counting along at home, that is 33 itty-bitty tiny screws inside the Lenovo Legion. The plastic sections are kind of all interlocked, so each of the screws do have to come out. Taking our first look at one of the internal stereo speakers, it's rather large, but I do not immediately see any balls inside. The 2-megapixel macro camera does not have any OIS. The 13-megapixel normal camera also does not have any optical image stabilization. If a good camera on your tablet is what you're after, you might be better off with an iPad. But also, if you're the type of person who takes pictures in public with a tablet, you probably already have an iPad. The second stereo speaker also does not have any balls inside. The charging port is hidden under a metal bracket that I forgot to focus on. Please forgive me, I've only been doing this for 12 years and I promise I'll get better. The charging port board does have a black rubber ring around the opening, but this is probably more for vibration dampening and improving wear resistance instead of waterproofing. I would not trust your tablet around water. As we make our way to the first of the 2 large internal batteries, we see that Lenovo has included magical pull tabs on the Legion, and they are glorious. I could do this all day. We should take apart Lenovo tablets more often. Thumbs up for that. That battery just got launched into space. The dual vibrators are a nice touch though, one on each side for better haptic feedback while gaming. Pulling both batteries back into frame, we can see that each of the cells are 3,275 mAh, giving us a total of 6,550 that can charge at 68 watts. I'm always impressed that the electrical engineers and circuit board designers can so accurately build such complex contraptions. Like, it's pretty wild that we can take a bunch of rocks and minerals that we pull out of a mountain somewhere, charge them up with lightning, and somehow get a tablet that can play video games. There are some really smart people out there. I'll get the cold front cooling system situated back into place with its 10 green screws, and I'm just as surprised as you are, everything still works. However, if you'd like to see the insides of your own tablet, laptop, or smartphone without taking it apart every single day, might I recommend one of my X-ray skins, showing each little circuit, capacitor, and battery laid out in all their glory. Also, I don't know if dbrand accidentally left their promo running or not, but it's still buy one get one free, so grab one while you can. You don't have to choose between light or dark X-rays, since you'll get both for the price of one. The link is down in the description, and thanks a ton for watching. I'll see you around.